Dzień dobry moi drodzy, witam wszystkich bardzo, bardzo serdecznie. Czy tylko sprawdzę, moi drodzy, moi drodzy. Czy mi się odpowiednio nadaje na komóreczce i ten. Miniaturka, moi drodzy. Teraz pytanie, jak zmienić miniaturkę? Ustawienia? O, tu. Edytuj. Ustawienia, edytuj, zajebiście, moi drodzy. Canva. Nawet mam gotowo. Oczko sobie robiłem wczoraj. W sensie 21, numer 21. Zajebiście. Pyk. Dobrze jest właśnie sprawdzić sobie na komóreczce. Pyk. Nie DLC, główna fabułka, czyli zakończenie głównej fabułki. Wracamy do statystyk transmisji. Okej, sprawdźmy, moi drodzy, jeszcze raz, czy się nadaje. Tarariraram. O, teraz jest idealnie. Okej, prywatność publiczna, wszystko się zgadza. Wracamy, moi drodzy, do giereczki. Jeszcze tylko może bym sobie czacik wydzielił. A w ogóle dzisiaj transmisję z odciupinaczkę pójdzie z prostego powodu. Finiszowałem. I to tak już finiszowałem na dobre. Rogue Traderka z pokazaniem kilku zakończeń w dodatku. W ogóle ostatni odcinek Rogue Traderka prawie 2-godzinny, ale nie żałuję longplayu. Miałem okazję wyhaczyć różnicę między kilkoma różnymi w sobie zakończeniami. A tu finał i stawienie czoła Eothasowi. Nie top czat, poproszę, tylko czat na wywód. Dziękuję. Czyli generalnie nie dzisiaj, ale jutro finałek tego. Odcinek finałowy Rogue Trader. I tu płyniemy do moich pomocników. Pomóżmy sojusznikom. Abordaż! Słabi są, bardzo słabi.
What do you need? Hey, that wasn't that bad.
Your story ends here.
Arthur Worthen Roth.
I ciach toporem.
Death take you.
Hi.
Ojejku.
What do you need?
Dobitka?
That must have hurt.
You need something. That'll do, I say.
Me too.
What?
Smart, eh?
Nie ma cię.
At your service.
Your bones will feed the land.
I'm here. Hey.
Oj. Pierwszy rozpieprzony abordażem. Abordaż.
That looks complicated.
Hey.
Right on target.
At your service.
Iloma czarami to skończymy? A, czyli koleś był jednoszczałowcem. Oj. Tutaj niestety pudło.
How may I help?
You have my attention. You ask too much.
Yeah?
Tutaj wątki byś to przeżył.
You. A relish.
What?
I rozpizgany. Rozdawanie załodze to dobry zwyczaj, zawsze tak robimy. I bardzo dobrze się wdzierają. Dostaną po mordzie.
I see.
I'm here. What do you need?
Right on target.
Speak your mind.
Nothing worth and rough.
Zaraz wleci wyładowanie łańcuchowe.
Eothas will take what remains of your soul.
Jep, troszkę weźnia. Dowrócisz? Nie.
Yes?
Yeah?
Teraz proszę cię o dowrócenie. A tego?
Yes? I'm afraid not.
Troszkę sojuszników padnie.
Speak your mind.
Nothing worth and rough.
Dobra, tu nie ma miejsca na sentymenty.
Yeah?
Spróbuj im zdjąć maga.
Need something?
Tutaj się zgrupowali pięknie.
Yours to command, Captain.
Nothing worth and rough.
How may I help?
Widzę wyranich sojuszników,
Yeah?
co powoduje ten zgon waszego kapitana. Brawo ty.
You need something?
Nothing worth and rough.
Tell me. Not exactly my area of expertise.
Ale to jest twoja area of expertise. Pierdolnięcie kogoś czarem w mordę.
Right on target.
What?
Pięknie. Wygraliśmy! Victory! We have achieved victory! O, zyskaliśmy jeszcze morale na końcu. O, dopłynęliśmy do Ukaizo. Brawo my, a przy okazji pomogliśmy kompanii handlowej na końcu, co może mieć decydujące znaczenie przy zakończeniu. Fakt, że pomogliśmy w bitwie.
Looks like
Yes?
Ile im robię tym?
How does one possess the time
Prawie
to
nic.
collect this many fish?
let's say. Luthen!
What?
Pieprznij w niego toporem. Dość skuteczne.
It's not working.
Ale nie, to działa, it's working aktualnie.
What say? Worth and rough!
Need something?
Why is your ignorant farmer winking at me?
Pretending.
There's a wallop. Tell me.
Dobra, czyli dwa tego typu zaklęcia go masakrują.
Yeah.
Ładnie.
That's it. Lava beyond seek.
What say? Worth and rough!
Dobitka. Jeden dead.
How's this one go again?
It's not working. What say? Worth and rough!
Lava beyond seek.
What?
Ładnie.
It makes no difference. Have my attention. Worth and rough!
Lava beyond seek.
Dobitka.
Need something?
Pytanie, oni coś zostawili? Masę zasobów.
Yeah. Only 'cause I like it.
Nie wiem, czy na tym etapie gry mi się do czegokolwiek przydadzą.
I suppose we're heading straight into that.
I'll take care of this.
Co ty myślisz?
Gilded Vale got its name from the way the wheat fields used to look in the sun. But this place really is gilded.
Yep.
Might as well be a different world. Well, hard to miss what you can barely remember. All I know is my life took a turn when this world came stomping into mine. These great people got a funny way of passing on. They disappear from the world, but leave their problems behind for the rest of us to deal with. I guess maybe that's one good thing that's come out of this. Well, at least for me. I got something to do with my life that doesn't involve hauling or shoveling.
Yep.
I even got a friend or two out of it. Whole world's about to face the biggest test it ever saw. What Eothas is doing, it's gonna change everything. We may not survive. Kith, I mean. You know, I broke a wheel once too. First thing I thought of when we learned what Eothas was doing. My mom had this spinning wheel. Well, I was playing with it in the way a young child wouldn't go back into place, so I pushed it harder and... Anyway, I got whipped pretty good for it. I used to think of the gods as being like parents to all of us. And now I know better. They're children.
Ciekawe podejście. Alot.
5 years ago, you controlled the destiny of thousands of souls in Sun and Shadow. But the choice you make today shall define the fate of every living thing in Eora. I suppose that's true. I know you'll choose wisely. And no matter what happened,
Jak się
I'm
czujesz?
thinking that Eothas has come this far, and he will not wait on you before he finishes what he started. If he shatters what is sat in the heart of Ukaizo, this action will ripple beyond the Deadfire. The Hawana could use a change, an upset, something that gets them working together. The land of my mothers, as real as anything that rises up. This should be as interesting as the last time I confronted a god-possessed Adra Colossus. Captain, I am my mother's son. I have seen things you would not believe.
Yep.
What say? Shall we find him, Captain?
Konstantem, co sądzisz?
If I didn't know you better, Watcher, I might be wondering if you had a death wish right about now. Doesn't seem real, this Ukaizo. Keep half expecting to wake up sweating in my bed at the med. Regretting one day too many. People like it's a privilege.
Okej, mamy wylewelowaną drużynę. Możemy powoli ruszać do przodu.
Can
I przy okazji widzę, że zgarniamy masę expa z tyłu misji.
The machine controlling the storm winds down. The clattering of its machinery settles into a low whir, and then, the bell's ringing is soft. Not the clangor and torrent you've grown used to. It calls to your soul, and your soul yearns to follow it. Your soul flees from your body and into the beyond, chasing.
Watcher, your journey nears its conclusion.
The pallid night stands before you, her gaunt face impassive.
Użyjmy bystrości.
You rush headlong toward the end. Do you ever pause to soon you will confront Eothas for what will likely be the final time. And you will do so as the Herald of Barath, the only creature on the face of Eora to whom he will listen.
The pallid night inclines her head to you. black.
If Eothas truly intends to go through with his mad plan to destroy the wheel, a generation's worth of souls will be trapped in the in-between. So many would suffer.
Abaddon strides forward.
Eothas thrust this crisis on the Kith. They did not bring it upon themselves. Their only mistake was entrusting us to watch over them. Who will help them rebuild their world now?
Eothas will reveal every secret of the gods. Will Kith be able to change the established order if they have no wonder to inspire them? Eothas must help them resolve this quickly, lest every one of...
You have misgivings. Good. You should be wary of any help Eothas might offer you.
A ty to w ogóle spierdalaj.
With the wheel destroyed, Kith will tear themselves apart. It is the gods' duty to prevent that happening, lest they doom us all. And as Kith must be ruled, so too must the gods.
Nie, jeszcze raz nie. Sio.
I shall take my rightful place as Queen of the Gods again.
Łedika cmoknij mnie w dupę.
Kith are strongest when they follow our lead, and we are strongest when we lead in turn.
Kith will not solve Eothas' puzzle on their own. And without an established order to fight against, the bonds that bind them dissolve, and they fight amongst themselves.
That confidence is what will save Kith, Watcher. Do not lose it when you stand before Eothas.
O, Magrana!
His firm hand is but the motherly smothering of Helia by another name. Mortals should have no special advantages. Only once Kith have striven to improve themselves through trial will they truly
Oj, czuję, że będzie wiele wyborów na zakończeniu.
Kith must suffer to find their strength if they are to survive the world into which Eothas drags them. Our intervention in your struggle would be a cruelty and counter to our purpose.
Indeed. Kith must discover for themselves what it is they are worth, and of what it is they are capable. What we do for them, they do not learn for themselves. Trial breeds ingenuity. If our work of generations was not in vain, I have faith in Kith's ability to meet Eothas' challenge. Do not mistake my words for indifference, Watcher. They are born from a fierce belief in your potential, not a refutation of it.
And yet you come to Okaizo with only the Valians at your back. All that Kith stand to lose, and even then your leaders could not join hands, squabbling instead over prestige and resources. You believe that will change when my final death comes calling? Margaret is blinded by her affection for mortals. She does not see that entropy is the destiny of all things. If Eothas were wise, he would destroy everything. End life, end reincarnation, end death.
I co, i pustka by była? Ej, spieprzać z taką mądrością.
Kith have had their chance.
As Rimergon's words fade, the Pallid Night returns. She no longer towers over you, a giant even among the gods, but meets you at your height. She lets the arms crossed over her chest fall to her sides. She speaks to you openly, plainly, an expression almost like tenderness.
Well, Watcher, you know where we stand. What do you believe?
Racjonalność.
The Pallid Night raises one dark eyebrow.
I did not conjure the wheel as you know it now from the air. It was built slowly, with great deliberation by Kith. It is as much your wheel as mine. Now the time I laid upon you a difficult duty, and you have discharged it well. You will be free of it in time, but not now. You are no stranger to hard choices. You killed Theos, and when his soul was laid bare before you, you chose to destroy his memories.
Przypominają nam zakończenie jedynki.
You freed him from his past. Remember the strength it took to make that choice. And know that you alone may sway Eothas.
The gods depart one by one in brooding silence. A solitary figure remains perfectly still until the last of her colleagues.
Earth is a fool if she thinks I'll let her enjoy the last word. You were trusted with a heavy responsibility, Watcher. Speaking for mortals and representing their interests, you are ambitious to favor the Valian republics. They shape their economy with reckless, if masterful, skill. But Director Castall retains his authority. But how long before he must time and again, these merchants put short-sighted goals ahead of any long-term, and yet they have earned your confidence in a gamble that could decide the fate of all mortals. Why is that? Not if I have any say in the matter. I assure you, my objections will be felt. Consider my curiosity appeased.
Przyszłość potrzebuje ambicji.
You play a dangerous game by investing your hope in others. Deception and failure are woven into the fabric of mortals. I can safely promise that they will disappoint you before long. Whether you heeded my wisdom or not, everything you've done to get this, I hope you're satisfied with your performance. We've learned nothing could convince me that mortals are equipped to steward their future. Your efforts to prove me wrong were admirable, and my detractors will likely use your example to the Valian trading company will no doubt devour itself from within. A difficult road lies ahead of me. Your Eothas will no doubt have a sunnier outlook on mortals and their chances of success. The rest of us will be sharpening.
Ever wonder what happened to your old pets, Watcher?
You keep falling asleep on me, I'm gonna have to start walking behind you with a pillow. It seems...
Do not touch the machine again, I say.
Okej, czyli członkowie załogi dopłynęli tutaj.
You...
So now it comes to this, Aimiko. You think to steal my golden dream. But my gratitude is yours for disabling the storms. It seems I did not require Rivan's ship to reach Ukaizo in the end. The Principi have adapted. No, thrived for centuries. You may slaughter us now and then, but you can never stop us. We will ransom, thieve, and forge a future for our continued blood, long after you are but dust. Such Gores, Casita.
Okej. Ale łomot dostaną.
Like that, do you?
Furante i inni.
Something I can do.
Yours to command, Captain.
Worth and rough.
I did not con this spell speak.
What?
Łot krowiu, łot konia. Jeps. Dobiję, albo nie, tego lutni.
Charge! Behold me, mother!
Nie ma cię?
Speak your mind.
Worth and rough.
Yeah.
Ojejku, zderzyli się chyba z przelewelowaną ścianą.
You have my attention.
Wolf and rough.
How may I help?
Lava will beyond seek.
Need something?
No good, I say.
Yeah? Why not?
Zderzyli się z mocno przelewelowaną ścianą. CP.
What? What? Why not?
I was chewing through Cadnua's foundation long before Eothas finished the job.
Of Ukaizo. Battered by storms for thousands of years, the ruins bear the marks of their role as the lone witnesses of the god's great secret at the center of the city. The houses and boulevards are pierced by great spears of luminous Audra. There are no ashen bodies, no birds, no sign or sound of any life. But with every step, the rhythmic pounding in the distance draws nearer. Soon, you can feel the vibration traveling up your spine. As you approach the center of the city, the weathered architecture gives way to more luminous Audra, piercing the ruins, eventually overtaking them entirely. Cresting the only safe route to the god is a steep ascent along a monstrous pillar of luminous Audra. Intertwined with fragments of Ukaizo's ruins that it has carried through the centuries, the pillar bends in a long arc, towering above the machine. The pillar levels out near Eothas' head, a silent observer to the destruction of the machine it has grown beside over thousands of years. You weave your way along a treacherous, rain-slicked path up the pillar's skyward side. As you arrive at the top, you catch Eothas' attention. Fist pull...
Strange to see Ukaizo in this way. It may be hard to picture, but this city was once full of life. The Huana, yes, but also kith from many other cultures. Great hanging trees shadowed these boulevards. Gardens sprawled across the open rooftops. Each spring, a festival procession would wind its way from the hillside. The celebrants would pass through a steep walk among the stalls of foreign merchants, flowers falling upon them from all sides. All people of all nations, together in a celebration of new life. Such was the power and beauty of lost Ukaizo. Mighty One, I once desired to return that power and beauty to the Huana. Now I wish only for the tribes to find it themselves. Was I wrong? Tekehu, the gods have already decided so much of your life. I would not shape what remains of it. You know how your people could benefit from your help. You have also come to see that this life is yours to live as you choose. Deciding what course to take is not easy. But if you do not choose, your life may pass you by as you stand at the crossroads.
If we don't fix this mess you're about to cause, the whole world is gonna look this bad. I mean, it's a mighty heavy load you're putting on our shoulders. I just hope we can carry it.
As long as there are people like you in this world, Adair, I truly do. This power has always been in the grasp of mortals. Now you will finally be aware of it. Now you will be able to decide what to do with it.
What right do you have to do this? Destroy the wheel and leave us with nothing? Without even knowing what...
Aloth, we are all, gods and mortals, responsible for our own actions. But inaction carries its own moral responsibility. One must always do as their conscience dictates. But what of you, Watcher? Why have you followed me? Have you come to bear witness to the breaking of the wheel?
ucierpią w wyniku...
It is pity for mortals that drives me, Watcher. I have felt it in every step I have taken to cross the Deadfire and reach. What more would you have me do?
Cykl nie zostanie naprawiony.
It is true. While the eventual restoration of the wheel will bring them relief, they will suffer until that time comes. Thank you for making me think of the lost souls, Watcher. I will provide a haven for them after my work here is finished. Indulge me in a moment's curiosity. There is something I wish to know about Eora, about Kith, that I can only learn through your eyes. You followed me all this way, dodging an armada, navigating an impenetrable wall of storms.
Yep.
Voyaging across uncharted seas, with the machinations of gods echoing in your ears. All the while trusting in the institutions of Kith to get you this far, and earning their trust in turn. Whatever else happens this day, that much is remarkable. I believe that mortals possess the strength to collaborate and shape a future of their own design. Not all of my brothers and sisters agree. By relying on others and coming together in a time of crisis, you illustrate my point. The gods will witness you and question their assumptions about how responsible, empathetic, and sophisticated mortals can be. What inspired your decision, Watcher? Did the choice echo your foundational beliefs? Or were you influenced by observation?
Potrzebujemy geniuszu, jeśli mamy przetrwać.
I thank you for your perspective. Yours is not the only opinion that concerns me, but for the moment, it offers much to consider. All I ever wanted for mortals was growth, transformation. Once, my brothers and sisters shared this goal. Some have forgotten themselves, giving into fatalism or tyranny. Others have succumbed to apathy. It brings me great sorrow that crisis is the only way to set the future in motion. Would that I could pass the responsibility of heralding your darkest hour to another. Never forget that trust and coordination between mortals brought you to this place. Your future is built on a foundation of hope, and you have laid the first stone. Ask. You are entitled to any answer that is mine to give.
Co się stanie?
The great work of the Ingwithans falls to ruin. Reincarnation as we know it will end.
Fatalnie.
Souls which currently await new life in the beyond will be born into the world as normal, but their numbers will not replenish. Anything that dies will tarry in the void of the in-between, awaiting. Once the beyond has emptied, every birth will be hollow-born. Other maladies of the soul may follow, unless mortals work together to carve a new path. The essence of life will be trapped in the netherworld. Gods will starve. Eora will grow silent and cold.
Ile czasu...
Yes. They must work toward a solution or perish. If that task is beyond their skill, then they no longer deserve their position. I would have them justify their right to lead. That could mean swallowing their pride and hearkening to the wisdom of mortals. Some, I expect, will perform better than others. For several reasons. My strength was diminished after the Godhammer bomb, and assuming this form took incredible effort. With so many vying for control of the Deadfire, I also saw a ripe opportunity for mortals to cast aside their differences and stand together as one. They have never been more powerful, more capable. Because of this, the gods must justify their importance or be proven obsolete.
Ile czasu
A generation or more.
That much essence is already poised to flow into
Właśnie
Eothas.
dlatego to jest zjebany
But
pomysł.
unlike an hourglass, no amount of turning will compel the sand to reverse its course. Should you choose, you could lay down your burden and trust in your children's children to set matters right. That depends entirely on you.
Spośród wszystkich planów masz najgorszy plan.
By your reckoning, there are still good years to come. By ours, time is short. When we tamed the cycle of reincarnation, we broke what had once functioned naturally and without intervention. The flow of essence will not normalize on its own.
No
Essence
niestety.
will simply pool in the void of the in-between, never passing through Adra networks to the beyond. The dead will be left to wander in darkness, confusion, and sorrow.
I właśnie dlatego to jest zjebany pomysł, nie rozumiesz tego?
No one is worthy of unconditional trust. If you feel the gods are beyond forgiveness, then they don't deserve your obedience. Make your future one that doesn't require them.
Okay.
Should you choose to accept the gods, I hope that you temper your faith with skepticism. Woodica is entitled to her opinion. If the intent of this test is to justify an uprising to come, that is more worrisome. The other gods must decide for themselves if mortals are ready to dictate their future. Should Woodica's tyranny prove the only alternative, mortals must prepare for a terrible conflict. Your perspective bridges eternity, Watcher. Many will look to you to mediate differences that could shake the very foundations of Eora.
Odjebałeś fatalną wędkę dna.
I apologize, Watcher. There is nothing I can do to restore the glory of your hard-won and poorly situated estate.
Nie mówię o zamku, mówię o zmarłych przy twoim powstaniu.
What happened to Cadnua was not personal in nature. I would have occupied the statue even if it was buried beneath Defiance Bay. Given your perseverance, I know that a second home cannot be distant in your future. You have only to seek it out.
Zatem co dalej, mordo?
I must attend to my final work now. I cannot delay any longer. You have carried a heavy burden across the Deadfire, Watcher. Before I go, you are free now, as free as any of us can be. Many will come to you for help in the years ahead. I have great hope for you, but always remember...
Eothas squares himself to the machine. As you move to a safe distance, he returns to his task. Each strike bringing with it the sound of cracking stone, and cracks appear along the hands, then race up the arms. Eothas does not slow his assault, but continues unabated. You see Eothas's arm shatter upward from his hand through his elbow. A flash of...
Nie chciałem tego! God damn it.
As Eothas's voice fades.
Nie! Czyli muszę nawiązać tu walkę. Nie chcę tego, nie chcę! Bla 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 bla. Zaraz będziemy wczytywać. I będzie attack on site. Cykl został zniszczony. Właśnie przybyłem, by ocalić cykl i zawiodłem. Czyli attack on site. Zamiast gadki szmatki wiodącej do takiego zakończenia.
Strange to see Okaizo in this way. It may be great each the cell almighty one was I to carry as this
What's right?
Allah, but it one but what of you, Watcher? Why have you
Captain, When we stand before a god,
Watcher, there is no...
Nie mogę zniszczyć cyklu.
Your stand against Eothas lasts no longer than it takes you to declare it. In less than the span of a breath, the god you surface from the morass, time and again, only to remember the task you left behind, and how powerless you are now to complete it. You dimly perceive, you sink and forget, only to remember again.
Czyli co, te w źle? Kurwa. Myślałem, że będzie final boss, walka. A tu chuj, dupa i kamieni kupa.
Strange to see Ukaizo. It made great each the cell almighty one. Was I to care? You know, decide
If we don't, I mean...
as long as this
What's wrong?
Allah, but in one. But what of you, Watcher? Why have you followed me? Have you come to bear witness to the breaking of the wheel? Mortals are all. Animancy is poised to go far beyond what we. Why do you? Why does Helia think I should lend more power to mortals? As do I. From where should mortals draw their inspiration? Very well, Watcher. Indulge me in a moment's curiosity. There is something I wish to know about Eora, about Kith, that I can only learn through your eyes. You misunderstand. You followed me all this way, voyaging with the machination, all the while trusting in the... I believe that mortals possess the strength by relying on others and coming together. What inspired your decision, Watcher? Did the choice echo your foundational beliefs? Or were you influenced by observation? I thank you for your... Some have forgotten them. It brings me great sorrow that crisis is the only way to set the future in motion. Would that never forget that trust and coordination between more... I must attend to my... You have... You are free now. Many will... I have...
A, czyli ten niszczy to.
Squares himself to the machine. He retracts up. You see,
A jak go powstrzymać? Halo.
As Eothas' voice fades, the enormous... On your recommendation, Eothas disperses his essence, and that of the thousands of souls within him, to centers of knowledge and learning under the leadership of Director Castall, and amply supplied with Ukaizo's luminous Audra. The Valian Trading Company unites animancers from around the
A nie, chociaż to nie jest aż
The
tak złe.
advances they make together promise to surpass even the work of the Anguithans. While some of these developments prove beneficial to Kith, others are decidedly less so. But such is the price of innovation.
A w ogóle czy da się tutaj ten?
How, indeed, whether they... At Ukaizo, the Valian Trading Company discovers a cornucopia of Anguithan devices and artifacts, as well as vast reserves of luminous Audra. Under Director Castall's leadership, the company is poised to become not only the foremost authority on animancy, but also the dominant power in Deadfire. With the Kahanga monarch reduced to a figurehead, the Huana tribes fragment further. Some profit by working with the Valiants, and others find themselves evicted from their old lands. But for many, life continues much as it had before. The Valians' business interests trump their enmity, and they allow most of the Royal Deadfire Company's ships and personnel to remain in the archipelago to trade. The storms across the Rawatayan mainland subside along with those of Andra's mortar. However, Rauatai regards this respite with a wary eye, ever mindful that the machinery at Andra's spire remains under their foe's control. The influx of Valian business into Deadfire creates an unprecedented opportunity for the Principes and Patrena. Though their dreams of conquest, the mysterious deaths of Governor Clario and Storm Speaker Ikawa provoke hostilities between the Valian settlers and the Huawan residents. What starts with, by the time anyone bothers to question the strange coincidences surrounding their deaths, including reports of a cloaked Omawi woman seen in both the port and the village, both sides of the conflict eventually draws the attention of the Songreta Mea Compressa. They dispatch a mercenary company to subdue the remaining Juana and select a strict hardliner to replace Clario. As the balance of power changes in Deadfire, so too does Nekataka transform. The Valian Trading Company builds up the port in Queensbirth. The company's expanding presence, however, quickly outgrows the dockside district. Company facilities and personnel spread throughout Nekataka. The Kahanga leadership takes responsibility for the welfare of the Raparu, and the Gullet starts to improve. What was once a den of crime, poverty, and illness slowly becomes a quiet haven for the Raparu. Though the loss of Skiarilifus's essence weakens the Watershapers Guild, Animancers with the Valian Trading Company offer a proposition. In exchange for knowledge of water shaping, they will develop a new source of essence for the guild. Your brief encounter with Letharn proves deeply influential for the children of the Dawnstars. Plagued with nightmares and haunted by the deaths at Hesango, Letharn begins questioning his faith in Eothas. At first, his fellow Dawnstars chide him, but that changes as word of Eothas's deeds at Ukaizo spreads. The faith of the children of the Dawnstars fades, but their commitment to the people of Deadfire does not. They continue feeding, healing, and helping the neediest, just as they have for Ruanu, the chieftain of the Juana at Tikawara, dies mysteriously. The tribe finds his body washed up on the same beach where Anaharu challenged him to the trial of waves. Some blame Anaharu's vengeful spirit. Others see it as Ngati's final judgment. And a few speak of a strange man seen lingering in the village. The leaderless tribe eventually scatters. Some head to Nekataka, while others seek out the Wahaki. The dragon, Neraskirlas, no longer passes between Aora and the White Void, and the dead flow slowly breaks apart, exposing the temple long frozen within. Under Halfyorn's guidance, the Harbingers of Dusk resettle within Remergon's temple, vowing to forever protect it from the defiling touch of outsiders. Over time, the group becomes increasingly reclusive and fanatical. The chime of Remergond continues to pulse coldly within your breast. Though the beast of winter rarely intrudes upon you, the chill within your soul promises that you will return to his dominion in the... Once repaired, the Adra at the primal island of Kazuwari again pulses with the flow of soul essence between the here and the beyond. The feral life on the island flourishes, the jungles and veld growing ever wilder and resistant to settlement and exploration alike. The faces of the hunt continue to rule the Crucible and Gallowayne's, or rather, Tawamawai's name. The trials summoned by the statue grow deadlier with each season, until only those rare few willing to brave the gravest of dangers seek out the bloody ordeals of Kazu. Like the other souls following in your wake, Muatu eventually yearns to move on to the beyond and the wheel. Stymied by Eothas's actions, however, he settles on returning to Kazuwari, where he joins the choir of souls that echo throughout the Crucible. Hundreds of kith, and no small number of wilder and primordials, flee from the Black Isle, their minds a confused collection of inconsistent and contradictory memories. Each escapee bears knowledge that was once lost, and agents of the Hand Occult across Aora, worked tirelessly in the years that followed to hunt down and end these fugitives. They find far fewer than they hope. Encouraged by her arcane successes, Bakarna returns to her observatory to continue her studies of the celestial spheres. In time, her colleagues in the Circle of Archmagi come to accept her among their number. She takes on apprentices, and they trumpet her praises as both a brilliant innovator and, slain by your hand, the Titan of Wal poses little further threat to Eora. As the corpse decays, it putrefies into a massive nest of hungry fungal monstrosities. Vessels that anchor off the shores of the Black Isles tend to go missing, only to turn up shipwrecked months or even years later against distant shores. With time, the body collapses upon itself, and the Black Isles finally implode. Though your adventures alter the destiny of Eora and the balance of power in Deadfire, they also leave a lasting mark on those who travel at your side. Your companions find themselves changed in ways. Adair returns to Hisongo, where he reunites with Byrne, the son of his former lover, Alava. The boy takes heart in Adair's account that Eothas and all the other gods were false, petty, and unworthy of the love of Kith. Realizing how close he came to dying for this cause, Byrne finds renewed purpose in working alongside his uncle to repair the many scars left upon Deadfire by the gods. Under Adair's guidance, Byrne grows into the kind of irreverent, stubborn hothead that would have made his mother proud. And Adair visits her gravesite, often to tell her so. Shodi is not a priestess who understands the meaning of subtlety. As such, she makes her girlish crush on Adair painfully obvious from the moment she first sets eyes on the strapping fighter. Early in your travels, Adair appears discomforted by her persistent flirting. He often grimaces when she sidles up to him, and he takes endless pains to keep their conversations terse and to the point. But after a little smoothing on your part to nudge them in the right direction, Adair makes an effort to view Shodi with an open mind. And Shodi begins teasing the veteran fighter in a more companionable and less amorous manner. After saving each other's hides a couple times and sharing more than a few laughs, the two form an easy, and you suspect, lifelong friendship. Plagued by constant nightmares and hallucinations, Shodi becomes increasingly disassociated from reality. Meanwhile, her power continues to grow with every soul she harvests. You start to notice sliced up animal corpses everywhere you two travel. But when confronted about it, Shodi stomps her feet and fiercely denies any wrongdoing. Then, one night, Shodi wakes, but never leaves the nightmare. Shivering uncontrollably, she packs up her belongings and slips away into the darkness, murmuring that she must return to the Temple of Gon in order to fulfill her purpose to her god. Though the two of you no longer travel together, Shodi holds fast to the memory of you in her heart, remaining your fierce and doting girlfriend, faithful even in her absence. You receive a missive for every day apart, though they often arrive in a single bundle some weeks or months past. In them, she writes of how she misses you, how you are like a fire that burns inside her, how one day surely you will be reunited again. Aloth renews his commitment to destroying the Leaden Key. With the wheel broken, loosening the god's stranglehold on Kith is more urgent than ever. It is a lofty goal, and one he does not expect to finish in his lifetime. But if there's one thing he's learned from the Watcher, it's that a single person can change the world. Seraphin seems little impacted by your journey. Always knew the gods were larger than me, he tells you, on the evening he decides to part from your company. He's too long put aside those he cares most for. He confesses over a bottle of rum, and he's got leagues to sail to make it right. For assisting the Watcher in securing Ukaizo for the Valian Trading Company, Palagina is honored in a ceremony at Biajepe attended by all 5 of the Duke's bells. Duke Ramasi is so overjoyed by his good fortune that he offers Pallegina a boon. She immediately takes the Duke up on his offer by requesting that the ducal charter of the Fremas Mes Consualias be amended to allow the admission of women. Soberly, the Duke accepts, much to his chagrin. The following spring, the Brotherhood admits its first 5 girl cadets. Following her triumphant return to the Republics, Pallegina is assigned to be the personal guard of the Duchess Sparento. She excels in this role and is favored by the Duchess above all other members of the Brotherhood. Their close relationship causes friction with the Duchess's husband, the Conta Maraba. His impotent annoyance becomes the subject of courtly gossip and the inspiration for a well-received farce staged at the biggest theater in Otsia. Pallegina renews her relationship with Giacomo, corresponding with him regularly and even meeting with the old animancer once or twice a year. Though she does not understand the intricate details of his research, she reads his letters and responds with great enthusiasm. Her brothers and even the dukes themselves note that Pallegina's demeanor is always warmer on the days when she receives a letter. Rumors even spread that some of the brothers have seen her smile. Time away from the Navy gives Maya Rua some perspective on how Rawatai conducted the Deadfire occupation. No sooner does she return to active duty than she voices her frustrations over some of the more underhanded tactics she witnessed and carried out in the name of the homeland. Her voice carries all the way to the Ranganui, who reminds his admirals that battles are won by superior tactics, but war is a battle of precedent, and winning is not always a victory. Though Maya's covert assignment in the Deadfire is considered a success, few claim knowledge of it or openly congratulate her. She receives no praise beyond knowing glances or the occasional raised tankard from her countrymen. She never responds. She looks forward to seeing her brother again. So does Ashiza. Takehu distances himself from the problems of the Deadfire, giving the tribes a reprieve from godlike omens. And Gati's silence speaks volumes. The Huana grow to rely on each other, paving a new way forward divorced from their traditions. Soon after he departs Nagataka, distant tribes report of unusual and salacious water sculptures appearing on the shores. These quaint visitations are widely celebrated, the identity of the artist ever an open question. Your farewell is short and cordial. Nothing further needs to be said, and you wish each other well. Takehu does not look back. The sea feels restless in his... Your pursuit of Eothas and your journey to Ukaizo signal the end of forces that have shaped the lives of Kith and the course of nations. The cycle of reincarnation has been broken. The storms of Andra's mortar have calmed. Yet each ending promises a new beginning. As the sun rises over Ukaizo, Kith turn their gaze eastward, wondering at what lies beyond, and at the world they will fashion for themselves. As the Watcher of Cadnua and the former Herald of Bareth, you return to your ship and begin the long journey home.
Okej, dobra, czyli generalnie ukończyłem, chociaż spodziewałem się walki z Eothasem. I ocalenia cyklu reinkarnacji, ale niechże będzie i tak. Zatem, moi drodzy, do zobaczenia w kolejnej ogrywanej gierce na streamach. Myślę, moi drodzy, że skoro mój apetyt został troszkę rozbudzony przez gierki Owl Kata na RPG, to Kingsmaker? Myślę, że